Very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Well, it is the National Voters' Day today and ahead of the assembly polls in 5 states. Now, Election Commission has asked the political parties to desist from seeking votes in the name of religion and caste. That is our top focus. Also, we look at another top story, that of Donald Trump inviting Prime Minister Modi to visit the US later this year. This after the two leaders spoke on the phone last night. All the details on that and much more, starting with the headlines. Election Commission writes to political parties against use of caste, race, religion or language for campaigning. Clarifies photographs of constitutional authorities cannot be used for political purpose. Chief Minister's panel on demonetization recommends abolishing the merchant discount trade, wants a subsidy to small merchants for the purchase of smartphones. India and UAE to sign strategic cooperation agreement along with over a dozen pacts, visiting Abu Dhabi Crown Prince to hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Donald Trump speaks to Prime Minister Modi over phone, invites him to visit the United States later this year, calls India a true friend and a partner. And setback for British Prime Minister's Brexit plans. The UK Supreme Court rules government must seek Parliament's approval first. For a top story this morning, the Election Commission has written to all recognized national and state political parties, asking them to not to seek vote in the name of religion, caste, race, community or language. While the poll panel also said that the campaigning must not in any manner be in contravention to the recent Supreme Court judgment on the matter. The Apex Court had held that any appeal to vote or to refrain from voting on a candidate on a ground of religion, caste, race, community or language would amount to corrupt practices sufficient to annul the election. The poll panel asked the political parties to inform its cadres and candidates about the ruling of the Supreme Court. The EC also said that such appeals will also fall under the ambit of Model Code of Conduct. And the Election Commission has also clarified that the photographs of constitutional authorities cannot be used for poll purposes. Well, this came after the Congress used President Pranab Mukherjee's picture on a poll hoarding in Ludhiana. Well, the panel said that the constitutional authorities cannot be associated with any particular political party. Well, the President's Secretariat had pointed out to the Election Commission that the photographs of the President and the Vice President are being used by political parties. The Secretariat then urged the poll watchdog to issue suitable instruction in this regard. Now, the poll panel has said that apart from photographs of President and Vice President of India, photographs of the Governor of the states should also not be associated with or used in any manner in campaigning. And President Pranab Mukherjee will hand over the awards for best electoral practices to over 20 government offices today to mark the 7th National Voters' Day. Well, government officers serving in West Bengal and Tamil Nadu have bagged the maximum number of awards in innovative electoral practices this year. National Voters' Day aims at promoting participation in elections and increasing voter enrollment, especially of youngsters in 18 to 19 years age group. Now, since its inception in 2011, voter enrollment among 18 to 19 years olds has increased from 12 to 75%. Now, this year, the Election Commission will also hand over electronic photo identity cards to future voters in the age group of 15 to 17 years as part of the awareness initiative. News from Uttar Pradesh now, and BJP has released its third list of 67 candidates for UP Assembly polls, which includes the name of former BSP leader Swami Prasad Maurya, who had recently joined the BJP. Now, besides Maurya, the party has also given tickets to two other former BSP leaders, R.K. Chaudhary and Dara Singh Chaudhary. Now, BJP has so far announced the name of 370 candidates for 403 assembly seats. For the remaining 33 seats, the party is in talks with the allies Apna Dal and Bharatiya Samaj Party. Now, most of the 67 candidates announced are for the seats which will go to the polls in the 6th and 7th phases. Well, staying with Uttar Pradesh, the Samajwadi Party has named 40 star campaigners for the Uttar Pradesh elections. Now, the names have been submitted to the Election Commission. Now, what is interesting is that Shivpal Yadav does not find a mention in this list. Well, the list contains the names of Mulayam Singh Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav and 38 others. Now, this exclusion from the list highlighting the severe divide with the first family of the SP ever since the move to make Akhilesh the party chief was taken. Now, Shivpal Yadav was removed from the post of the state party chief as well. Remember, the signs that all is not well were evident when Shivpal also did not attend the press conference where Akhilesh released the party's manifesto on 22nd of January. Now, the list of campaigners include Kiranmay Nanda, Azam Khan, Ram Gopal Yadav, Naresh Agarwal, Jaya Bachchan and Rajendra Chaudhary, besides state presidents of SP, Mulayam Singh Yadav, Youth Brigade and Samajwadi Party leader from Maharashtra, Abu Azmi. And scrutiny of nominations for the first phase of elections in Uttar Pradesh will take place today, while polling for 73 constituencies spread over 15 districts in western Uttar Pradesh will take place on 11th of February. Well, the last day of withdrawal of the candidature is 27th of January. On Tuesday, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav kicked off the Samajwadi Party's campaign from Sultanpur. Now, targeting the BJP-led government at the centre, Akhilesh alleged that it would incorporate in the union budget some of the ambitious schemes announced in the SP manifesto to take credit for them. Now, the Samajwadi Party national president also ridiculed the Achhe Din promise of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while promising to make the metro in Uttar Pradesh a reality. Akhilesh also highlighted the achievements of his government in the past 5 years. Now, he will be holding his second rally in Lakhimpur today.
एक ऐसी पार्टी को जिता दिया जिसने कहा कि अच्छे दिन आ जाएंगे। हम सुल्तानपुर के लोगों से पूछना चाहते हैं, बताओ अच्छे दिन कहां हैं? मैं ये बात कह के जा रहा हूं बड़ी जिम्मेदारी के साथ पत्रकार साथियों के साथ। आप देख लेना जब बजट उनका आएगा तो कहीं न कहीं हमारे समाजवादियों ने जो काम किए उनकी नकल करने का काम उनका बजट करेगा, क्योंकि इतने अच्छे काम किसी सरकार ने नहीं किए।
And news from the Congress's camp, well, the party has submitted to the Election Commission its list of 40 star campaigners for the UP Assembly elections. Well, the names include Priyanka Gandhi and Party Vice President Rahul Gandhi, while former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and Party President Sonia Gandhi are also in the party's list of star campaigners. Now, Ghulam Nabi Azad, Raj Babbar, Sheila Dikshit, Manish Tiwari, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, Ashok Gehlot and former Lok Sabha Speaker Meera Kumar will also campaign in Uttar Pradesh for the Congress party.
कांग्रेस की नया डूबते दिख रही है, इसलिए उन्होंने ये विषय कोई नई विषय नहीं है। हर एक चुनाव में उनकी लोगों के मन में आती है कि फलाना प्रचार करने से कांग्रेस पार्टी आगे बढ़ जाएगी, लेकिन बढ़ना तो कोई होती नहीं है।
On to Uttarakhand now, where the Congress has released its list of 5 candidates in its second list. Well, the total number of nominees it has declared so far is 68 for the 70-member state assembly. Well, the list includes Prabhu Lal Bahugna from Raipur Assembly seat, Balkishan from Bageshwar and Rajendra Barakoti from Someshwar seat. In the first list, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Harish Rawat will contest from 2 seats, Khicha and Haridwar Rural. Well, elections to the 70-member Uttarakhand Assembly is scheduled to take place on 15th of February and the counting of votes will take place on 11th of March. On to Goa now, and a day after BJP President Amit Shah said that the next Goa government would function under Manohar Parrikar's leadership, fueling speculation of his possible comeback to Goa politics. Now, Chief Minister Lakshmikant Parsekar has hinted at continuing as the state's Chief Minister, claiming that the mood for the people is in his favour. Well, in an interview to news agency PTI, Parsekar said, and I quote him now, "In last 1.5 years, I have got several things on track. It is obvious that if I get continuity, it would be better for the state," unquote. Now, responding to a query of Amit Shah's statement, Parsekar said that he had never demanded the Chief Minister's post in the first place. On to news from poll-bound Punjab now, and the state's Deputy Chief Minister Sukhbir Singh Badal on Tuesday released his party's manifesto for the upcoming Punjab Assembly elections. Now called a progress-minded manifesto, Shiromani Akali Dal has promised jobs and turning Amritsar into a tourism hub. It also promises Wi-Fi connectivity and CCTV in all villages of the state. Also on offer are 20 lakh jobs and skilling of the youth of the state. Now, SAD said that it will turn Amritsar into the most beautiful city where employment will grow as the tourism grows. Remember, Punjab is going to pose on 4th of February in a one-phase election and the results will be declared on 11th of March.
Sewerage, water supply, complete concrete gullies and solar light. Complete. We will make Punjab villages on power with urban sector. That is my now priority.
And rubbishing the Shiromani Akali Dal poll manifesto as a bunch of lies aimed at misleading the people. Now, Punjab Congress President Captain Amrinder Singh on Tuesday said that the Badals had failed to implement even 20% of the promises that they had made during the last elections.
वो तो हमारी बातें की हैं जो हमने कहा है वही उठा के उन्हें कर दी। अगर ये बात करना चाहते हैं किसानों के लिए तो 10 साल से सो रहे थे क्या?
And we'll take a very short break here. We'll be back with more news.
In the Lutyens bungalow zone of Delhi, there is a perception that you are not a favorite of the central leadership. Why?
I was a disciplined soldier. I am a disciplined soldier. The people of the state would be giving the mandate.
Because Aam Aadmi Party is very clear that they are an anti-casino culture party, but BJP's stand has been that of a flip-flop.
We are unnecessarily being tarnished. All the 6 casinos which are floating in Mandavis is the gift of Congress government.
Watch to the point with Goa Chief Minister Lakshmikant Parsekar only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break. Now, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, will be accorded a ceremonial reception at the forecourts of Rashtrapati Bhavan today. Well, the Crown Prince is the chief guest at the 68th Republic Day Parade on Thursday. Now, he arrived in Delhi on Tuesday on a 3-day visit. As a special gesture, he was received at the airport by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, he will be holding talks with the Prime Minister later today. The two countries are expected to ink a strategic agreement to elevate their relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership, providing for greater cooperation in areas such as defense and security. Cooperation in areas including energy security, space and civil nuclear energy is also high on agenda. Sheikh Mohammed is accompanied by a high-level delegation, including ministers, senior officials and industry leaders.
UAE has decided to become a strategic partner in the energy sector and will be both investing and filling up one of our key strategic petroleum reserves. We hope that the negotiations would conclude today.
And on to some other news now. Well, a high-level committee of chief ministers on promoting digital payments submitted its interim report to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday. Well, the team led by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu says that the key to the success of digital payments in the country was to bring down the cost of digital transactions. Well, the committee has recommended that a subsidy of 1,000 rupees be given for the purchase of smartphones by non-tax assessors and small merchants. Well, the report has also advised that merchants doing digital transactions should not be subjected to retrospective taxation. Further, it has recommended a levy of transaction tax for cash transactions of 50,000 rupees and above. Well, the panel has also suggested that merchant discount rate or the MDR be abolished to make digital transactions cheaper than cash.
Tax incentives to be extended to micro ATMs, biometric sensors, domestic production has to be increased. Third one, tax refund for consumers using digital payment up to a certain proportion of annual income. Small players, we have to help them, we have to give incentives for them. For Aadhaar Pay, biometric, fingerprint, iris sensors to be provided, 50% subsidy to all merchant points. Fifth one, APE has to be promoted by incentivizing and not charging MDR. This is very crucial recommendation. No MDR at all. And also cost of communication should be zero.
And on to some good news for farmers. Well, the Union Cabinet on Tuesday decided to waive 660.5 crore rupees interest payment on a short-term crop loan for November-December 2016. Well, the decision is expected to come as a huge relief to farmers who are affected by the cash crunch on account of demonetization. Well, the Cabinet also gave 400 crore rupees to NABARD to bear the refinancing cost of cooperative banks. Well, the move entitles farmers to a refund of interest on short-term loans in the demonetization period, and the amount will be credited in their bank accounts through a direct benefit transfer. Well, data for 2016-17 shows that the government has set a target to disburse agri-credit of 9 lakh crore rupees, of which 7.56 lakh crore rupees was disbursed to farmers till September last year. Meanwhile, in another move, the Cabinet also cleared a land swap between the Bihar government and the Airports Authority of India for expansion and development of the Patna airport. Well, it also approved a transfer of 11.35 acres owned by the Bihar government to AAI by exchanging equivalent land. Well, also approved was the Indian Institute of Management Bill 2017 that declares IIMs as institutions of national importance with statutory powers. Well, it will allow IIMs to award degrees instead of diplomas. And let's get you some news on Budget 2017-18. Well, the demonetization drive has impacted the farming community. By draining away liquidity, the measure adversely impacted a sector that is heavily dependent on cash. Well, the agriculture sector is now looking for a firm policy direction in the upcoming budget. Well, Kriti Mishra's report explains what are the expectations of the community.
The agriculture sector has borne the brunt of demonetization. Most of the transactions for seeds, fertilizers, tools or salary payments are all carried out in cash. Sale, transport and distribution of products at mandis are also heavily dependent on cash. Moreover, with the RBI banning the exchange of old notes at all cooperative banks, farmers want the government to waive off their loans in order to tide over their losses.
नोटबंदी से हमें किसानों को बहुत ही ज़्यादा परेशानियां आई। हमारे खेत बीज और खाद वगैरह नहीं बोए हैं। सरकार से हम बजट से ये चाहते हैं कि हमारा कर्जा माफ हो और हमारे जो फसल की कीमत बढ़नी चाहिए।
Experts expect greater allocation for the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana that will bring in more land under irrigation. The target was 28 lakh hectares for financial year 2017. Funds allocated for Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana may also increase from 5,500 crore rupees. An interest rate cut for agriculture credit under different schemes is also expected.
50% houses will not have anything to do. Their kitchens will close down. The children's marriages, everything is on Kisan Credit Card today. So therefore we need a policy today. The government in the budget must bring out a policy where the Kisan can sustain agriculture.
The Niti Ayog's task force on agriculture development has also offered its suggestions. This was after the Finance Ministry for the first time invited suggestions on Twitter on Budget 2017-18. According to initial reports, India wants the Finance Minister to focus more on agriculture in his union budget. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
On to some other news now. Well, the multi-barrel rocket system guide Pinaka rocket was successfully test-fired for the second time from Launch Complex 3 of the Integrated Test Range launch pad at Chandipur in Odisha today. Well, the test was conducted at 12:45 p.m. yesterday on Tuesday, and Pinaka rocket Mark II, equipped with navigation, guidance and control kit, was transformed into a guided Pinaka. Well, the conversion facilitated a range enhancement and improvement in Pinaka accuracy. The range for the rocket has increased now from 40 to 70 kilometers, with an improved accuracy from 500 meters to 50 meters. While its first successful test flight was conducted from the same venue on 12th of January. Now, India at present is operating 2 regiments of Pinaka and has ordered for 2 more regiments. Well, the Defence Acquisition Council last year cleared a proposal for 6 additional regiments at a cost of 14,633 crore rupees. Meanwhile, Pakistan on Tuesday said that it has successfully conducted its first flight test of surface-to-surface ballistic missile Ababil. Well, Ababil has a maximum range of 2,200 kilometers and is capable of delivering multiple warheads using multiple independent re-entry vehicle technology. Well, the missile is capable of carrying nuclear warheads and has the capability to engage multiple targets with high precision, defeating hostile radars. Well, the test flight was aimed at validating various design and technical parameters of the weapon system. The Ababil test came on the heels of a successful test of a submarine launch, which was Babur 3 on December 9th last year. And news from Jammu and Kashmir now. Well, security forces gunned down 2 militants belonging to Lashkar-e-Toiba outfit in a Ganderbal area of Kashmir Valley on Tuesday. Now, following a tip-off about the presence of militants in Hadura village of the district, the security forces cordoned off the area and launched a search operation. Where during the operation, the militants opened fire on the security forces and a gun battle ensued. Well, 2 AK assault rifles, ammunition and hand grenades were recovered from the possession of the militants. A police spokesperson said that the slain terrorists had been directed by their Pakistan-based mentors to carry out attacks on the eve of Republic Day. Well, this is the second major encounter in Kashmir this year. Earlier on 16th of January, security forces killed 3 militants in an encounter in Pahalgam area of South Kashmir.
During the operation, 2 foreign terrorists named Abu Anas and Abu Ali have been eliminated. Both of them belong to Lashkar-e-Taiba Tanzim, and arms and ammunition have been recovered from them.
On to the other top story now. Well, US President Donald Trump has invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit the United States later this year. Well, the 2 leaders spoke on a phone last night at 11:30 p.m. India time and discussed issues such as trade, defense and terrorism. Besides this, they also discuss security in the region of South and Central Asia. Well, Trump's telephone call comes 4 days after the Republican president took oath as the 45th president of the United States, with Prime Minister Modi being the 5th leader that he spoke to after assuming office. Well, the White House said that during the call, President Trump emphasized that US considers India a true friend and partner in addressing challenges around the world. It added that President Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi resolved that US and India stand shoulder to shoulder in the global fight against terrorism. Well, Prime Minister Modi has been one of the first leaders to congratulate President Trump after his victory in the November elections and the inauguration last week. In a series of tweets, the Prime Minister had said that he looked forward to working with President Trump to further deepen India-US ties and realize the full potential of our cooperation. Now, expressing personal admiration for Prime Minister Modi, Trump had called him a great man who was very energetic in reforming India's bureaucracy. However, Trump's Buy American, Hire American policy and plans to clamp down on the H-1B visas has caused some unrest in the Indian IT industry. On to some international news now. We're in a setback to British Prime Minister Theresa May. Now, the country's Supreme Court has ruled that the government must seek parliamentary approval before formally initiating the process to leave the European Union. Well, Theresa May had earlier vowed to invoke Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty to leave the bloc by the end of March this year. But the judgment means that May cannot begin talks with the EU until MPs and peers give their backing. Well, Tuesday's decision affirms an earlier High Court ruling. The UK's 11 most senior judges voted by 8-3 to reject the government's appeal against the earlier ruling. But the court ruled that the Scottish Parliament and Welsh and Northern Ireland assemblies did not need a say. The British government said that while it was disappointed with the ruling, it will bring a parliamentary bill within days, and the opposition says it would hold the government to account.
When the UK withdraws from the EU treaties, a source of UK law will be cut off. Further, certain rights enjoyed by UK citizens will be changed. Therefore, the government cannot trigger Article 50 without Parliament authorising that course.
We will shortly introduce legislation allowing the government to move ahead with invoking Article 50, which starts the formal process of withdrawing from the European Union. The purpose of this bill is simply to give the government the power to invoke Article 50 and begin the process of leaving the European Union.
We have been making the point ever since the referendum that Parliament must be involved. We must be able to hold the government to account. That's what Parliament exists for, to hold them to account, to make sure that the negotiations actually are for the benefit of all of the people of this country, however they voted in the referendum.
On to some sports news now, and the Supreme Court has asked the Centre and the BCCI to suggest names for appointment of administrators to run the country's cricket governing body. Well, the Apex Court rejected all 9 names submitted by the BCCI Council, asserting that any individual over the age of 70 years will not qualify for the post. The court, however, allowed the BCCI to suggest 3 names after following due process to represent it at the ICC meeting in the first week of February. Well, the 3-judge bench has given 27th of January deadline to suggest names and posted the matter for hearing on 30th of January. Remember, in its 2nd of January order, the Supreme Court removed Anurag Thakur as the BCCI president and also disqualified all the board and its state association office bearers who failed to meet the new norms set by the Justice Lodha Committee.
फ्राइडे तक इनको सील्ड कवर में अपना नाम देना है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पैनल की घोषणा अगले 30 जनवरी को 3 बजे इस मुकदमे की सुनवाई के लिए रखा है.
And finally, Damien Chazelle's dreamy ode to classic Hollywood musicals La La Land swept the 89th Academy Awards nominations by becoming the only 3rd movie in the Oscar history to bag a record 14 nods. Well, the movie bagged nominations in all the key categories, including the Best Picture, Best Director for Chazelle, and Best Actress and Actor for its leading stars. Well, La La Land equaled the record 14 nominations of All About Eve in 1959 and Titanic in 1997. Well, the second most nominated films this year are sci-fi drama Arrival and coming-of-age story Moonlight, with both bagging 8 nominations each. Now, British Indian actor Dev Patel bagged his first nomination in the Best Supporting Actor category for the movie Lion in 2017 Academy Awards. Will be held on 26th of February. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of news. Thanks for watching.